Bro, go ahead, talk whatever about my son, bro. My son walking, my son talking, my son eating. Just because I don't display that on the internet, I don't give a fuck about proving anything to y'all, bro. Right. My son walking, my son talking, my son eating.
Our whole life. That's how I know it's been to us our whole life.
Crazy in love, too much money.
Well, she was pregnant at the time, so like once she started getting big, you didn't see me next to her, and no video, no club, no drink, no smoke, like, you know.
She stopped right before she got to the money. That's when my brother started to tune in. Like, oh, that's the only thing my brother's really focused on. He has a strong, intimate relationship with money. You feel me? So he didn't really see, like, he just oblivious to, like, oh, she getting rid of, and she doing it subtly. Like, she's really a manipulator.
Hey. Give me this.
Don't say nothing. I'm not going to say nothing. Kenny's trying to get me in trouble.
Nice. Oh. She don't just try to manipulate. She's a really good manipulator, my nigga. Like, on a high level. Like, she got half of y'all food. I'm being honest. Like, that's why I really have a lot of respect for her. I'm like, anybody who has this power, this much of a superpower that could bend and manipulate the truth this well has to be special, bro. I can't knock her gift. That's her gift.
Well, Levy, you want to get down, huh? Come on. Let's go walk. We're going to walk in the park.
Come on, Blazer.
It's a beat for me.
Wow, 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 wow. For your guy, for your B-O-Y. Drop it for your guy, for your B-O-Y. Do it for your guy, for your B-O-Y. Come on, baby, we live.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Voodoo Doll TV, back with a quick little joke, or whatever the case may be. And I need y'all to come on in so we can discuss Chrisean Jr. and what's been going on here lately with Blueface denying paternity of him being the father of Junior, and also Chrisean crashing out because her manipulation is wearing off. Now, to the average person, they look at Chrisean having interactions with her son and they think that it's sweet and it's cute. But what the average person doesn't know is Chrisean Rock is a master manipulator who's able to control the masses by whatever she believes to be a figment of reality, which is never the truth. And this is why Chrisean Rock has been able to get away with smoking, allegedly smoking, drinking, sleeping with all kinds of people, fighting and all kinds of things while pregnant, thus far causing Junior to have what we believe to be many, many issues. Now, before I go on with what else I'm going to say, I want to say first that I am not a doctor and or a lawyer, psychiatrist, psychologist, so please don't take nothing what I'm saying as medical advice. I'm just giving my opinion on this situation. But I also would like to add that I've been watching Chrisean Rock since before she was pregnant with Junior. I watched her very, very closely, and I called that this would happen because I saw the pattern and pathology of behavior that she has, and I heard a lot of people tell me that this baby was going to change Chrisean. Well, she's had this baby, and the baby hasn't changed nor made any progress, and neither has Chrisean. The only thing that has made progress is the master manipulation tool she's been using, which is this internet and loads of AI. Loads and loads of filters in AI. And Chrisean has been doing so good at this. I don't think that she's this powerful. I do believe she has a system behind her. And I believe this system is pushing her through this algorithm, putting her on our timelines so that we can get used to seeing a baby, toddler, or child not thrive and hardly survive. Now, some of you might think that this is a bit harsh, but like I said, I've been following this since the beginning, and Chrisean Jr. is almost 3 years old. He'll be 3 in September, and I want everybody out here in the world to know that he has not been able to be proven to walk, talk, or eat. I also would like to add that a dog is afforded those rights, and those rights are simply to walk, talk, and eat. Yet and still, we have to watch Chrisean daily online flaunt this baby around as if he's a prop, out completely neglecting his growth and development and not getting him any help. And before one of you rockheads jump down in the comments and say, how do we know he's not getting help? I can tell. He's not walking, he's not talking, and he's not eating. And just for a little backup, I went and grabbed 2.5-year-old milestones for the ones in the bike. Who cares more about Chrisean Rockhead and her failed career than the best interest of this baby Junior? So I went pulled this article from Kids Health, and it says your child's development at 2.5 years old or 30 months should go as follows. It says doctors use certain milestones to tell if a toddler is developing as expected. There's a wide range of what is considered normal, so some children gain skills earlier or later than others. Goes on to say at this milestone, Junior should be saying around 50 words. Say 2 or more words together with one action word like doggy run. Says words like I, me, or we, or name things in the book when you point to it and ask, what's this? It also goes on to say that as far as Junior's cognitive skills / thinking and learning, he should be using things to pretend like feeding a block to a doll as if it were food. So simple problem solving skills like using a stool to reach something, follow 2-step instructions, aka pick up the toy or put it back on the shelf, and then also know at least one color like pointing to a red crayon when asked, which one is red? It also notes, by the way, it says, when should you call your doctor? Even though the article says some children are developing earlier and later than others, it also says if your toddler is not meeting one or more of these milestones, or you notice that your child has skills but lost them, tell the doctor. Now, why is this important? Chrisean has been making it a point to put Chrisean Jr. all over the internet for everybody in the world to see, but she always makes sure that she puts the cute angles and the cute little kisses to make it look like she's just in love with her baby. But the fact of the matter is we've been watching this baby closely since she had him, and he has not made any progress. He still hasn't shown signs of walking, talking, and eating, and he is 2.5 years old. And what's worse is a lot of us on the internet have been screaming to try to get this baby help, but Chrisean has mastered the art of manipulation and playing with y'all minds and posting little stupid videos like I'm about to show you to make it seem as if Chrisean Jr. is doing okay. Check it out.
You look so handsome in there. You so cute. I was like, wow, I like your shoes, your coat, your hair, your eyebrows, your eyes, your teeth, your nose, your whole face. Your whole face, babe. Okay? I gotta read y'all his prayer book. That he's so cute, bro. He is. He a great baby. My little baby. My little baby. Okay? Where you gonna go? He been on some I can't explain it. Like, okay, so alright, so I'll feed him, right? I'll feed him in his chair, right? Boom. I take him out the chair, put him on the floor. He get to like, bye. Like, you know, like, it's so cute. I can't explain it. Like, I mean, like, Chrisean, he like turn his head, and it's like he know he going somewhere, and it's just funny. Like, it's just cute to me. I think it's the cutest thing ever. I've never seen it before, but when he does it, I'm like, that's something new.
Now, to the average person who's blinded by social media and looks for social media to tell them how to think, they would think that this is a cute, sentimental, sweet video. But if you really paid attention to what Chrisean is saying and how she's talking, you can absolutely tell that this is extremely forced and put on for the internet. Because Chrisean has learned that the internet is so gullible and will believe anything that they see, that as long as she puts out pictures and videos of what seems to be her loving her son, then people would just go with that. And Chrisean has mastered this manipulation so well that all she has to do is get posted to the neighborhood talk or the shade room, play kissing and play loving on her baby, and all of the internet is going to just gush over it because nobody looks into anything. Everybody's all surface level. Chrisean knows this. When the fact of the matter is, the truth is Chrisean struggles with Chrisean Jr., and it could be due to what we believe to be his disabilities. We don't know what it is. Whatever it is, she struggles with him. But she will never want you guys to know that because the picture is supposed to be that she loves her child and they have this really loving relationship. And if you really pay attention to Rockhead and her shenanigans and you catch her off guard when she's on somebody else's stream, you can always catch the truth. Like the time she was out with Ray J and they were streaming and Chrisean Jr. was giving her a whole bunch of trouble. Check this out.
Thank you. And
Okay, why you pulling my
it is
hair right there?
definitely something that's out of the context of everything else that's pretty much been done.
What's up? What's up?
We like to stay in the now. Mainstream shows, right? And I'm not gonna say white shows because it's just a super mainstream show, very popular. A lot of white people watch them, but at the same time, support the other content. I don't give a fuck. I like it, but when you're dealing with other people who don't understand how to, embrace that, you can fuck their head up. Curve is crazy. Curve their enthusiasm. A curve is two different things. We will not stop doing the show Love Cabin. But Love Cabin is by far the best show on TV. Thank you. And
Okay, why you pulling my
it is
hair like this?
definitely something that's out of the context of everything else that's pretty much been done.
What's up? What's up?
We like to stay in the name shows, right? And I'm not gonna say white shows because it's just a super mainstream show, very popular.
Now, y'all saw that video, and the reason I showed that video was not to show you Chrisean Jr. acting up, because I think all toddlers do that. But what I'm showing you guys is whatever's going on, this baby is real active sometimes, and which is probably why we always see him sleep. But neither here nor there, he's super active, and whenever Chrisean doesn't have him where she needs him to make her look good for the camera, i.e. just sitting there kissing, whenever Chrisean Jr. does not do those things that align with the brand that Chrisean wants to promote, he gets rid of Chrisean Jr. She only has him on camera just enough so you guys can see him and enough for y'all to think that she's a great mom. But I am of the belief Chrisean does not care about Chrisean Jr. at all. And also I believe that she's neglecting him on purpose so that he doesn't get help and we continue to talk about him. This is how evil and sick I believe Chrisean Rock to be. But most people won't hear of it because they're too caught up on social media and they don't think for themselves. But the fact of the matter is, everywhere Chrisean goes, especially if she's streaming with other people, they always make sure that we get to see what's really happening behind the scenes. Just like Ray J did. He's streaming talking a whole lot of nothing, but yet and still all we see is the interaction between Chrisean Sr. and Chrisean Jr. I don't believe that's a coincidence. As a matter of fact, I believe everywhere she goes, if people really care about Junior, they'll at least try to expose it. But I'll say this, for any adult that's been hanging around this baby, seeing him suffer like this and not saying anything just for views and clicks, I think those people are messed up just like Chrisean, because I mean, it seems as if everybody's fine with Chrisean Jr. suffering the way that he does, as long as they get to go viral with his name and his face in their content. Blueface as well. Blueface has a lot of guilt and blood on his hands if anything happens to this baby, because he knew all along that Chrisean Jr. wasn't his, yet and still he streamed with this baby day in and day out once he got out of jail, just so that he could go viral. It seems like everybody is using Chrisean for her clout, and she's using Junior, and Junior is a byproduct of everybody else's clout, because most people want to know what is going on with Junior. But I've seen Chrisean do this over and over again, and nobody says anything. Most people just look for the good things and tell everybody else to be quiet. What bothers me the most is the only person that suffers when we do that is Chrisean Jr. He is the only person that's going to suffer from this, because he's not going to get help when he's the one who actually needed. Because remember, he's 2.5 years old and he hasn't walked, talked, or eat. Even though Chrisean will swear to God he hasn't done so. It's like she'll double talk and say, my son walks, my son talks, and my son eats. And then she'll flip it around and says she's got a new place to live, so they'll have a place to grow and he can start his specialist in therapy. Check this out.
Blue, go ahead, talk whatever about my son, bro. My son walking, my son talking, my son eating. Just because I don't display that on the internet, I don't give a about proving anything to y'all, bro. Right. My son walking, my son talking, my son eating.
Very content, very grateful for my son. And now we got space and opportunity to grow and get. I just came up with a better schedule with his specialist, so my baby can start. He will be walking soon.
So as y'all can see, Chrisean is a pathological liar. On one hand, she's saying he's walking, talking, and eating. Now, on the other hand, she's saying that since she's finally got a place to lay her head, he's lying, trying to act as if Junior already has a specialist and he'll be walking soon. When the fact of the matter is, if anybody has paid attention to any of those videos, photos, or anything of Chrisean Jr. even being born, you know that he's possibly having club feet issues, and he's not going to be able to walk unless he gets the proper help. Again, because I don't say what the masses want me to say, which is, oh my God, we love you, Chrisean, and your baby is so pretty. Rockheads and people who align with them will say that I'm hating, when the fact of the matter is, I'm doing quite the opposite. What I am doing is advocating for this baby to get the proper care that he needs so that he can have at least some sort of sense of quality of life. Like I said earlier, even a dog can walk, talk, or bark and eat. We just want Chrisean Jr. to be able to do those things and not have to be solely dependent on his mother because she cared more about her career and what it looked like to be instead of actually getting her son some help. And I might want to add Bino, the Rockhead family, all of the Malones. Everybody is complicit with this. Carlissa, the entire Blueface clan, and Raglass Church, that Raglass pastor, that Raglass choir, and all them Raglass members up there at that church in Baltimore are responsible as well. And more importantly, that Raglass boxing team who got y'all out here calling this heifer holy hands when ain't nothing holy about her nor her hands. But again, it's never about Chrisean Jr. It's always about Rockhead. And again, unfortunately, Chrisean Jr. is the only one left to suffer and pick up the pieces because everybody is waiting for a turn in their cameo with Chrisean Jr. so that they can go live, go viral, or at least have some level of proximity to this baby so that they can too be named in the conversation. And this is the world we're living in here. Now in 2026, nobody cares about children. Everybody cares about these raggedy ass celebrities and all other adults around. Nobody cares about children. As long as the internet exists, where all you have to do is put out a facade of reality, people are gonna eat it up and people are gonna not say anything about what's actually happening behind the scenes. And again, I don't want to hear nobody tell me that this baby is fine. He's 2.5 years old, almost 3, and he has not walked, talked, or ate yet. Any other person who claims to be a child of God, a Christian, or at least a good person or a decent human being, if you can turn a blind eye to this and make excuses for it, then you're just as responsible, culpable, and demonic as Chrisean, Blueface, Bino, the church, the boxing team, and everybody else who just sat back and watched this girl neglect this baby. People have to understand, neglect is just as worse as abuse because neglecting someone is, in fact, abusing them. Now, Chrisean has been working overtime to make sure she staged these videos to make it look like Chrisean Jr. is making progress, when the fact of the matter, he's not. At the end of the day, at 2.5 years old, this baby should be doing much more than holding on to the end of a playpen in order to hold himself up. She stages these videos and content at church. She stages them at hospitals, at restaurants, all of these things to make you guys believe that Chrisean Jr. has some level of quality of life when the fact of the matter is he doesn't. And what's worse, this 26-year-old young woman, because that's what she is, this 26-year-old young woman has convinced the internet and the world to look at her as a baby, so everybody makes excuses for her how she deliberately neglects this baby. Remember, it's not about what's real. It's about what you can get people to believe. And this is why she stages these videos. As a matter of fact, she recently staged a couple more videos that had me alarmed. Now, these videos Chrisean just recently uploaded, and it's her in her new apartment, and she's been showing a lot of Chrisean Jr. being in the skyline, looking as if he's enjoying himself. But mind you, he's 2.5 years old, and he can't hold his own head up. He can't support his own back, which is why she has a fort near him so he doesn't fall. And the fact of the matter is, instead of recording him and going live, what she should be doing is going to a specialist in real life or a therapist to get him help so that he can support his own neck and head and he can have a quality of life. But that would only work if Chrisean genuinely wanted to get Junior some actual help. Now, even though we all saw Chrisean drinking and smoking and fighting during her pregnancy, Blueface, since being released recently, has come out and been honest about Chrisean and what she's been doing during pregnancy. He actually told Jason Lee in an interview that he knew that she was drinking and smoking, and this is why he distanced himself. But that doesn't make Blueface a better person because he actually was still there helping her to do it at first. So let's get into what Blueface said. Check this out.
Crazy in love, too much money.
Well, she was pregnant at the time. So, you know, I was kind of a provider, protector, you know, while you're pregnant. But that's another thing about her. It's like people always try to say, like, I condone in her drinking and smoking while she was pregnant. Bro, I got the fuck away from her as soon as she started once she started getting big, you didn't see me next to her, and no video, no club, no drink, no smoke, because I was trying to instill that in her, like, hey, look, just chill. You don't gotta do clubs and parties and shit no more. You're pregnant enough to where you can just relax. Let this pregnancy happen. She's on some, no, I need to work. I need to do this for my. I think she already had a plan to do her own thing, go her own way. So I think that's where we feuded at, because I'm on some together shit, look, relax. And she's on some, no, I got to do this for me and my baby. So I'm like, okay. So that's another thing.
Not for us.
So y'all heard what Blueface said. He said while she was on the show, she was pregnant the whole time. But Blueface wants to contend that once she started showing and getting big, he kind of separated himself. But the fact of the matter is, if that is the truth and she was pregnant the whole time she was on the show, Blueface was absolutely encouraging her to drink. Check this out.
Hey,
what we doing, bro?
Babe, we not taking shots.
Were you on a cleanse?
Feel better?
Yeah.
Were you on a cleanse?
No, niggas was sick.
You know, I know you're gonna vibe with those.
Take a shot.
She really on a cleanse.
I'm really sick, babe. Come on, y'all. You just saw me go crazy this 20 minutes
It'll
ago.
numb the sickness away.
It's like.
Literally, what that means is, even though Blueface knew she was pregnant in the last clip I showed you, he was still fine with offering her shots. But we all knew that if you watched the show. Blueface offered her drinks every single day while she was pregnant on this show, and she drank most of those days. And again, it's still Chrisean's responsibility, but I don't want Blueface to feel like he's absolved of any, because you helped her to do this. Now, there's a rumor going around that Chrisean Rock knew that Chrisean Jr. was gonna have issues even while she had him pregnant in the womb, and that's the reason why she really wanted to get an abortion. But it turns out she ends up keeping Chrisean Jr., and here we are. But if you ask me if that's true, I think she kept him because she understood that he's gonna bring her more clout and followers. And just like that, it worked like a charm. From the moment Chrisean went live on Instagram and had that baby, her follower count and support has been going non-stop, when most of those people are ignorant to the fact that Chrisean decided to take her entire pregnancy to have fun, allegedly smoke, drink, fight, and all kinds of other things. And this could have definitely been a big issue on why Chrisean Jr. have the issues that he have. Now, I must say, I do believe Chrisean is already mildly retarded, and I think that's something that would have been passed down regardless. But all these other physical ailments, like people are noticing club feet, Chrisean's eyes, and all those things, these things are things that I believe Chrisean has contributed to this baby. She did it so smoothly to where she was able to manipulate you guys to believe that this is some natural stuff or some normal stuff, and y'all would never go in and check out what she's done before. It worked like a charm. To prove what I'm saying, check out this clip from the show Crazy in Love when Chrisean was big pregnant, trying to get some more Hennessy to drink, and heavy on the word more Hennessy. Check this out.
Yourself together. Where the bottle at?
Oh my gosh.
Drink it.
She asked for another bottle. I'm just
You can't liquor?
Yes, I can. I can abort the child tomorrow. It won't hurt me.
Did y'all hear how nonchalantly she just said, I can abort the baby tomorrow? And for her to say more Hennessy tells me that she had been drinking that whole time. But I already caught that. Then there's another video where Chrisean was talking before she got pregnant and had a few abortions. And she was speaking about how anybody could drink and smoke while pregnant. Check this out.
You know you can smoke and drink while you're pregnant. I know a lot of people don't do it, but they do it and they don't know that. I'm sorry, I keep seeing them comments, and get that pregnancy shit out of my shit.
So you can check out her mentality and see that Chrisean was always here for drinking and smoking during this pregnancy. This is what she believed was normal. And as for Blueface, for him to now come out and say that he distanced himself and then also turn around and say that he's not the father, I find that rich, but I don't think he's going to be able to escape his karma, because he definitely has so much to do with this whole situation with Chrisean Jr. But I want y'all to hear this video where he's sitting down with Jason Lee, and now since everything is blowing up and it seems like him and Chrisean aren't going to get back together, Blueface has come out and told the world that not only is he not Junior's father, that he's always known he wasn't wasn't his father. And Chrisean knows that as well. And the most sinister part about this situation is they both agreed to play like he was the father just for clicks and views. Lord have mercy. Hashtag save Junior. Let's go take a look at this video.
The child Chrisean Jr. There were times where you said it wasn't your kid, it is your kid.
Yeah.
Now today it's not your kid.
Yeah, it's not.
It's not. Why did you publicly claim the kid to be yours?
We were making money. It was a good storyline. We were making money. It was a good storyline.
We were making money. It was a good storyline.
The biological father was he didn't fit the storyline, put it that way. The biological father was he didn't fit the storyline, put it that way.
The biological father was he didn't fit the storyline, put it that way.
So I went along with it, cool, But if you play back the train of events, it all makes sense today, right?
Did you plan that plot out? Like, was that a conversation like, look, this isn't my kid, but I'm going to act like it's my kid for the story?
No. It wasn't necessarily like that.
Just roll with it.
Yeah, All right. Because like I said, you can watch Crazy in Love. You can watch anything. I've always, the timing, the events never matched up. Mm-hmm. But I just kept going with it. Mm-hmm. But you can see, I'm a vocal person. So if I see, hey, on this day you said you were here, and the doctor said on this day you were conceived, and I wasn't with you that day, I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to leave it alone. Mm-hmm. I'm going to back off. Mm-hmm. All right. I'm not going to be like, oh, I'm going to be like, okay. You know that I know, and I know that you know. So let's just fuck it.
Y'all heard Blueface. He was okay with cosplaying Chrisean Jr.'s daddy simply because Ronnie Doe, rest in peace, did not fit the storyline. I tell people all the time on the internet, and they think I'm crazy, people will have babies and get married and do all kind of life-changing events just to get viral on the internet. Nobody believes me, and I think it's asinine because these people will come out and tell you straight out their mouths that that's what they're doing. But I'm telling you, that's what they're doing. And Blueface just admitted it. But again, he wants to absolve himself as if because he knew that it wasn't his baby and he kind of left early that he's not responsible. But the fact of the matter is he is. His brother Dre had came out years ago and said that Blueface has this very uncomfortable, crazy relationship with money, which means he'll do anything for it. If you think I'm lying, check out Blueface's brother talking about Chrisean's manipulation and Blueface's thirst for the dollar bill. Check it out.
She stopped right before she got to the money. That's when my brother started to tune in, like, oh shit, that's the only thing my brother's really focused on. He has a strong, intimate relationship with money. You feel me? So he didn't really see, like, he just oblivious to, like, oh, she getting rid of, and she doing it subtly. Like, she's really a manipulator. Like, the reason I fuck with her is because she don't just try to manipulate. She's a really good manipulator, my nigga. Like, on a high level. Like, she got half of y'all food. I'm being honest. Like, that's why I really have a lot of respect for her. Because I'm like, anybody who has this power, this much of a superpower that could bend and manipulate the truth this well has to be special, bro. I can't knock her gift. That's her gift. You know what I'm saying? But I do have to point out to the people when she misusing her gift for wrong, right? I be trying to keep it square because wrong is wrong and right is right, my nigga. End the story. When women come into a man's life and a nigga got a baby mama and the mama's involved and the mama's rocking with the other baby mama, she got to go. When the brother's involved and he rocking with the other baby mama and anybody who not rocking with this love has to go.
So now that was Blueface's brother Dre, who literally told us that he has this thing with money to where he wants it, right? He called it an insatiable relationship with money, which means Blueface is going to do whatever he needs to do to chase the bag. And if that means cosplaying Chrisean Jr.'s daddy, he had no issue with that. And that's why I say, Blueface, you are not clean in this. And they played this manipulation game with the internet and the rest of us very, very well. I mean, interviews and all. They all acted like they were both the parents of Chrisean Jr. because it made them money. Check out this interview with Blueface when he's talking about Junior's disabilities as if he's the dad. Check it out.
Oh, we got the last one. Say what's up to Baby Butter.
Wait, which game?
Say hi, Baby Butter.
Ah, okay.
Baby Butter.
baby brother.
Yeah. Say what's up, big brother. Damn, we getting this shit all the way together, man. You know what time it is. What provoked me to say it? I'm a present father, chat. All these absent father comments and all that type of stuff. You guys don't gotta choose no sides, gang. Like, support everybody. There's no sides to this shit. Hope everybody's doing well for themselves. I'm doing well for myself, too well for myself to try to hurt anybody or make anyone upset.
So y'all see, on one hand, he was fine with cosplaying Junior's daddy when he first got out because he wanted to go viral. But then once he saw it wasn't going to go the way he wanted it to go, he quickly changed the narrative and said he wasn't Junior's father. He had already said it many times before, but again, because the internet is gullible, he understood that all he has to do is say it is and is not, and people are going to believe it. And what's more sick about this is the way they spoke about Junior in his condition as if they were really concerned. And that's a problem to me. Check out Blueface in this interview with Vlad TV. And he's talking about Junior's condition. And he's saying that it's a rockhead situation, which I believe it is. But the fact that Blueface understands that there are issues and he still doesn't care as long as he get to play daddy and go viral, I think that's very dark and very sinister. So we're going to get into Blueface describing Junior's issues. And he's saying it's not really a Junior issue, it's a rockhead issue. I believe it's both, but we're going to get into what he has to say. Check it out.
When you look at the pictures and the videos, it somewhat appears that there's some disability going on. Is that true?
You know what? There is no disability. The only disability is her.
Huh.
She's not how can I say this? She's not like into it enough. You know what I mean? So the things you normally do with kids and, you know, how they start off walking and talking, it's a build up to that. And it takes a lot of you walking and talking to them.
Okay.
And that's where she's like not doing enough at.
All right, because a lot of people think...
He can see, he can stand.
Okay.
He can move, he's very agile, he's very mobile.
He talks?
He doesn't talk. He makes noises and stuff. You know, you can tell like if you put the time into it, it'll happen. But if you don't, it's not gonna happen for any baby, gang. Like if you have a baby and you leave him in the stroller all day, or you just leave him, you're not as intuitive and tender. You're not putting on these kid shows and things for him to see and hear kids, and any child's gonna be behind.
Right, because people think it's fetal alcohol syndrome,
no,
FAS.
He doesn't have any of that.
He doesn't have that.
He had a hernia at the bottom of his...
Right.
Which obviously messed with his mobility early on.
Yeah.
You know, but that got taken care of. So that's the only thing I could say that would need, that would slow his mobility down, you know? If he's had something that he can't sit down properly, he can't, you know, for XYZ amount of time.
So according to Blueface, he's saying that Chrisean Jr. can walk, he's agile, but I don't believe that because people have said that they've seen Junior's feet and his club feet and all kinds of stuff. I think what Blueface is doing is trying to save face and put it all on Chrisean because this whole storyline thing is blown up in both of their faces. And I think what Blueface saw was that it was going to fail. So he jumped out in front of it first by saying that he wasn't Junior's father and speaking on his illnesses. But the fact of the matter is, all of y'all were around this baby and nobody got him help. And yes, I do know and I am aware that Blueface is the one that got the hernia fixed, which I've heard he needed more surgeries for. But even if that is the case, Junior has had multiple issues since then. And Blueface and Chrisean has played in our face as if nothing is wrong or as if we're seeing things and things are just not what it is. But the fact of the matter is both of them going to HE double hockey sticks and I can't wait till it happens. Check out this interview with Chrisean and let me show you how deranged and messed up these people is. Chrisean will literally draw tears and make it seem like she's really hurt and upset behind certain situations when she know for a fact they're lies. All of it, from the pregnancy to the giving birth to even Chrisean Jr. as a whole to Blueface, everything is all a lie. Check out this girl and her acting skills in these interviews. And to these people who are interviewing her, allowing her to spew these lies so that you guys can go viral, just know you're going to receive some of this karma too. But anyways, check out Rockhead with the lies, y'all.
But we also recently saw Blueface take the internet, right? And then start speaking on your son. And that caused you to react.
Yeah,
you know?
but you saw what I said?
It was a very powerful reaction.
Yeah. I wasn't moved by it.
But did part of you want to just shut it off and not react? Did you feel obligated to say something at that moment?
I didn't feel obligated. I felt like I'm Chrisean's mother. I'm his protector. I'm the person that's going to speak up for him.
Yeah.
I'm the person that's going to protect him.
Who better?
And when he look back at it, he's going to know someone was always there. Even
true.
against his daddy.
Internet is forever.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm always going to be there. But it's kind of like, what do you do with people like that? It's just, I'm gonna be honest. Like, I'm in a place where nobody has control or access to me in the way they used to. Like, and it makes them do things
to try to reel you back in.
Yeah.
Now, y'all just saw that interview. Chrisean is still speaking in that last interview as if Blueface is actually this child's father. And she's also making it seem like she's so grown and elevated that even though he's trying to quote unquote bait her, she's just not going to take the bait because she's Junior's protector. Well, I have a question. If you're Junior's protector, when are you going to get him to walk, talk, and eat? See, nobody asks these questions because people are so moved by emotions and bullshit. And this is why Chrisean has been the master manipulator that she's been able to be. All she has to do is cry, fake like she loves God, play like she's going to church, play in them people baptismal pool, play on y'all internet, play on y'all minds, play on y'all heads, and play on everything y'all got because y'all just gullible and foolish. And I don't want to hear video. It's not me. It's not you. If it's not you, a hit dog ain't gonna holler. I'm talking about the masses of hundreds of thousands, sometimes even millions of people who see Chrisean in the headlines literally acting as if she's a Christian and acting as if she's a mother. All they gotta do is see that and they're just gonna go with it. And that therein lies the problem. That is why Chrisean is able to neglect her baby. That is why Chrisean is able to go on these interviews and make seem like she really loves her baby, but do nothing to get this baby some help. Now, why is all of this important? Chrisean has been working these manipulation tactics on you guys as far as the audience since before she's gotten pregnant. I can recall videos of Chrisean practicing her cry and saying that she's a proud actress. This is way before she even came on. Also, I want to add, Chrisean has had many abortions. Her words, not mine. And she was already ready to abort Junior, but she saw how much clout it would bring her and decided to keep it. And if the rumors are true that Chrisean knew Junior had issues while in the womb, then that would make sense why she continued to smoke and drink, because she probably didn't care. She probably wrestled with wanting to keep the baby or get rid of the baby, but realized getting rid of the baby would get rid of her career, which would be why she went on and had this baby, knowing that he would have the issues and also knowing she would neglect him further once he's here. And if you've been following this thing like me, you saw the neglect long before she even got pregnant. You saw the neglect while she was pregnant, and you even saw it once she had Chrisean Jr. This poor baby hadn't had a fighting chance since he come into the world, and it's mostly because of Chrisean. But I also would like to add to the audience, a lot of people in the audience have dirty hands when it comes to this, because what I've learned is most people don't care about babies in 2026. Hell, if I'm honest, most people don't care about their own babies. All they care about is celebrity worship, and I don't know how this snaggletooth retarded heifer became a celebrity for y'all to worship, but she did. And just like Dre, Blueface brother, said, she is a master manipulator, and she has mastered the art of manipulating the masses. And this says a lot about us as a people, and I really hope we get it together. But at the end of the day, the most important person of this conversation is Chrisean Jr., and I will continue to let you guys know that my advocacy for him is for him to have some sort of quality of life, which is to be able to at least walk, talk, and eat. And if anybody has a problem with that, I think you should take it up with God and not me. With that being said, y'all, I'm gonna leave y'all with a couple of people from TikTok and what they have to say about this situation, but I'm more interested in what you guys think about this. Y'all, do me a favor, drop down in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe. If you are new to the channel, make sure you definitely subscribe and hit that notification bell, and also hype the video up so we can get it into the algorithm. I appreciate your time, and please share so we can get the word out. And always remember, I come in love, but I got a lot of hate and wrath for the Rockheads. Never forget it. Y'all, please hashtag Save Junior. It's hashtag Save Junior yesterday, hashtag Save Junior today, and hashtag Save Junior forever. I thank y'all for being here, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. Bye.
I'm convinced that y'all be calling CPS on the wrong people, not Chrisean Rock. That is somebody who needs a CPS case open against them. And I really hope that CPS takes her neglect of her son seriously, because at this point, I am just appalled at how much she's gotten away with and the fact that she still has custody of that baby. So I'm a mom of a 2-year-old, right? And my daughter just turned 2 in May, and Junior's almost 2. He is developmentally behind significantly. Like, he's significantly delayed. And I'm not saying this based on my child's development, because my daughter did walk a little early. She did actually, her speech was a little delayed, but she walked very early, right? I'm saying this as someone who just recently filled out the questionnaire that you receive from the pediatrician when you do your 2-year checkup. And he doesn't check off half of those boxes. Like, how many words they're supposed to have, whether they're walking, whether they're feeding themselves on their own, whether there's just quite a few that you can tell from the amount that you see Junior online, like the small snippets, that he's just not meeting those requirements, right? And then it's like, now I've seen her leave him in a hot car while she's on the phone arguing with Blueface. I've seen her leave him in a room with some random person, I guess the nanny, while she's partying at like a content house late at night. Now I've seen her leave him on the beach by himself close to the shoreline where he could get swept away in his stroller with a blanket over him while she parties. I'm appalled as a mom. I'm honestly appalled. I'm just like, these are the formidable years of your child's development, and she's not taking it seriously, nor is she like being the mom that her son needs. Her son has special needs. He needs his mom to get him on a schedule, he should be in therapy at this point, some intervention therapy when it comes to his speech, his eating, his walking. Like, he should have already been a while back, but that's what he really needs. He needs to be on a schedule. He doesn't need to be out and about with her while she's drinking, partying, doing none of that. And I'm at the point where it's like, Chrisean, if you really don't want to raise this child, then you need to like give him up to somebody else that wants to. I'm sorry, like, this is crazy, like, to sit here and watch this shit. And I don't even think Blueface getting out would even help him, because I don't think he really wants to raise the child either. I think Blueface shucks the responsibility of his daughter and son onto that baby mom. Like, they're not present parents. And I really feel for Chrisean Jr. because I feel like, I don't know, like, Chrisean is just a piece of work, man. And CPS needs to be involved at this point. CPS needs to be involved. He needs to be removed from her care. Sorry.
You see, she moves him when we hear his breathing.
Ask him a question: are you the king of Israel? Like his PJs.
Listen to his breathing.
That was laid against him as a threat against Caesar. Jesus said to him, "You have said so." But when he was accused by the chief priests and the elders, he gave no answer, because you have to know when to be silent and when to speak. Only a fool says everything that's in their heart. Then Pilate said to him, "Do you not hear how many things they testify against you?"
This is why I feel like she gave him too much medicine. Look at him. Oh, poor guy. He looks sedated. Oh, look at the little tink tink. Oh, he's so cute.
So, y'all, Chrisean posted a picture of her baby, Chrisean Jr., when he was first born, out of the womb, on Instagram. Y'all, when I seen that baby and I looked over that baby, tears just kept coming out my eyes. because I love babies. I got a soft spot for babies because it's a baby. They can't help it. It's not their fault. Y'all, that baby can't walk. I know that baby can't walk. Y'all, it's so sad that she's even out streaming and doing all the stuff she's doing instead of really being with her baby, getting her baby therapy and everything else that baby might need. Y'all, I just couldn't even believe it. It's so sad. Y'all, if y'all want me to put the picture in the comments because you don't got Instagram, let me know. But if I put this picture in here, y'all, please don't say nothing negative. This is a baby. Don't say nothing negative. So if y'all want me to put it in there, let me know. But just don't say nothing bad.
Chrisean tried to unalive Junior. What? Every day it's some new shit. Child, they done put up some receipts allegedly. So y'all know how the people been saying how Junior been getting treated bad. Even her main supporter, Hot T Hot Piss, came on here exposing her for the neglect and stuff. Now it's people coming out saying that she tried to set the whole thing up. They were saying that allegedly that she was trying to set up her child to get napped and literally potentially unalive. Then they say that the day that he was at the beach unattended in the stroller next to the water, she did that on purpose so he could perish. When that didn't work, they said that she tried to pay someone to nap him and unalive him and act like nothing happened, she didn't know what happened, or blase, blase, blah. I'm going to be posting all the receipts in my story or whatever from the people. Y'all can go do your own research, go to their page, try to go get answers. But baby, this is too fucking much. We knew, you know what I'm saying, that she didn't want him to live, or she don't want him because how she throw him with any and everybody, every stranger she can, bitch. But to have proof that she tried to pay someone and they said that they thought it was a setup. That's why they didn't end up linking with her and stuff like that right there. They even said that she told them to meet her 2 blocks away from her hotel, all this stuff. It was just a lot. It's just a lot. If y'all want to get into it, y'all can, if y'all care.
Y'all don't talk about my baby. He is okay. Ain't nothing wrong with him. Ain't nothing wrong with him. He is just fine, okay? Let me get your diaper, baby. Oh, shit, baby. He is okay. He is okay. Okay?
Mr. Carroll, how you give the voodoo doll time to talk? I don't get no fucking time to talk.
Who the voodoo doll is?
The nigga you just had up here.